even though you can't see it all.
Exactly.
Hello everybody, I am returning with a sketchbook video, which has been long due for a comeback. I have now decided to finally record this, like, year's sketchbook. It started in April 2014, and I really wish that I had the time to draw more traditional stuff, but this year has been super crazy and busy. I'm not alone today. I'm with CCL and Waffles.
Sketching at pancakes.
Sketching at pancakes. Well, I'm just in a Skype call with them currently. I don't know why they're here. So the cover of this sketchbook is my original character, Kane. He's the blonde one. I've drawn him a few times digitally, but I mostly drawn him traditionally, and you're gonna see him in this book a couple times. So this is the first page. I wanted to draw something that was done with ink, and so I drew a girl with holding balloons, and then a dude, and then there's paper planes. Yes.
So pretty.
And then the next page has this girl who's in front of a wall, and she's got like spray cans on the floor, and then a belt with a bunch of art supplies. And then at the back here, she has the letters PSA, because at my school we have the specialized art program, but in French it's called Programme Spécialisé en Art. And yeah, so she's wearing that because I was doing this for a school-related thing. Next page is Harry Potter. They both gasp at the same time. I drew this because I actually made a little bust of Harry Potter. It's my first little sculpture thingy, so. And then this was for an art project I did that was about time. And so it's two little kids that are counting all the rings on a tree trunk. And here I was just exploring some ideas that I could use to talk about time. So here I drew a teddy bear that looks aged. I was kind of exploring the topic of like nostalgia with this. And then here's another sketch with the tree trunk idea. And then I was trying to think of other ideas. So in time, with the theme time, I thought of like a timeline. And so like all these little squares here are your memories. And then that's you, and you got like a whole future ahead of you, and it's scary.
Reminds me of Inside Out.
Yeah, it could be kind of like Inside Out. And then this one I feel like could be very relatable to a lot of people. So it's a time bomb up here, and a girl who is freaking out because of deadlines, and she has like coffee, or is that tea? I don't know. And then a bunch of homework, and then like books and stuff piling over, and she looks very distressed. And I feel like the idea I had with the tree trunk was a lot more adorable and more heartwarming, and I don't know, it was cuter. And then I was like, let's make like a little story with these little kids. So the little boy and the little girl are friends, and then the girl's parents are like fighting, and then the girl moves away with one of her parents, and the little boy's like, bye-bye. And then she's like, no, in the car, and he's like, no. And so this is like the concept page for the characters. So this is the girl, and then this is the little boy. And then this is like a sketch of Marceline I did out of random.
Fan art.
Fan art, yeah. So this is Kane when he was 14, and then this is Kane when he's 17, and then this is his brother when his brother was 17 and when his brother was 20, and his oldest brother when he was 20, and his oldest brother when he was 23. So it kind of shows their age differences, because in the story, something happens to the brothers in between the ages of 17 to 20. That's why this brother here turns into an emo, like here, and then this brother is like a total emo, and then an emo with a comb over.
Oh, they're all attractive.
So it kind of shows their age differences, because in the story, something happens to the brothers in between the ages of 17 to 20. That's why this brother here turns into an emo, like here, and then this brother is like a total emo, and then an emo with a comb over. Their last name is Millstone. And then this is his brother Dimitri and his brother Arkin. And Kane gets along better with his brother Dimitri because they're closer in age, so they're more able to relate to each other. Anyway, and then I don't really remember why I drew this, but it's a huge crowd of people. But I think these were supposed to be like historical figures and people who kind of inspire you and like build you to the person that you are today. Something spiritual and crap like that. Anyway, so here's a page full of elephants. I had to do another sculpture and I wanted to make a little elephant figurine, but then someone else in my class was drawing was sculpting an elephant, so I was like, to hell with this, they're copying me, so I made a wiener dog instead.
They copied Renee. They should be punished with 1,000 daggers to the heart.
Yeah. Okay, and then here's some more OC stuff. So this is my original character, Leaf. And Leaf is kind of emo and doesn't really smile, so I tried drawing him smiling really, really, really awkwardly. And this is Kane, right here next to Leaf. I remember when I was drawing this, I was in my psychology class, and my teacher really didn't like me. And he saw that I was drawing, and it's kind of questionable that I'm drawing a little boy without a shirt on. And so he saw that, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I'm done my work, I can draw." And then he was like, okay, and then just walked away, and it was so awkward. And then on my next page is another one of my original characters. It's a birdie that looks kind of like a chocobo from Final Fantasy, but isn't yellow. Yes. Chocobo. I don't care. I call it chocobo because that's the way I read it when I was 7. And here's Leaf and Kane again. So these two are usually together because Kane kind of feels like he's got to protect this little boy from everyone because he's so vulnerable. On this page, I was looking at the Hyrule Historia book and decided to draw some Zelda things in the Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons style. So these are copies of the book drawings, and I was only just practicing. The only original thing is this drawing of Link. Oh, and then this little paper is something I drew in my binder, and I took it out because I thought that it had to do with my sketchbook. So it's Kane up here, Kane again, and then Isaac looking at him all sassily. And then this drawing is inspired by Loish, who is an artist that is on, who's really popular on DeviantArt. I drew like ruffles and stuff with her skirt and tried doing folds. I was mostly just concentrating on how Loish draws faces. So at some point I was just flipping through my sketchbook trying to find an empty page, and then someone in my class, it was my French class, saw my sketchbook and she saw this drawing, and then she like grabbed it from me and then like announced it to the whole classroom, like, "Look at this book!" And then my teacher grabbed it and then like put it on the chalkboard in the front of the class and like just left it propped open on the chalkboard, and I was like, okay. This is another one of my original characters. This is Penny. She has some sort of relationship-y ship with Kane. Okay, this is Idako and Isaac, and Idako's about to flick Isaac in the ear because he's distracted looking at other things. And then these are sketches I actually did in the car. So this is...
I'm so jealous. I get nauseous.
Yeah, I get nauseous too, but you gotta sacrifice. You gotta make some sacrifices in order to do art. Anyway, so there's a scene that I wrote where Idako is on a train, but not like in the train, she's on top of it. And then she grabs Isaac and like yanks him on top, and then they're like on the train being all intense. Isaac and Idako sneaking around there. So that's a wall, and then they're kind of like, wow. And then that's them in their like outfits. This is Idako running, and then Isaac's like, "What? Where'd she go?" And then, I don't know why, but I really like drawing fashion things, so every once in a while I'll just draw boots. So that's what that is.
Drawing boots right now.
But this was drawn, inspired by a book I was reading, and the main character looked kind of like this. I forgot what the book was. The title was in French, okay, and it was a French book, and whatever. And then these two are characters of mine. They're kind of mystery characters, so I'm not going to talk too much about them. But the female is really, really good at climbing, and the male is really good at horseback riding. And those are two of Idako's special skills. That's all I'm going to say. And then on this page, this is a character I made who's named Robin.
It's so cute!
So yeah, that's Robin. I'm not going to talk about who she is currently, but she's special. Let's just say that. And then this is Wendy from Gravity Falls. It looks like she has 3 fingers, but I promise she's got a 4th one. It's just hiding behind the 3rd finger. I got a lot of comments saying like, why does she only have 3 fingers? Are you trying to make it accurate to the cartoon? And then this is Aang over here, and then here is Janora. This is when the Avatar fan art starts coming. Here's a page with Kane sketches. It got kind of screwed up because I drew with, like, I tried covering the page. So, like, I tried shading and getting tones and stuff in this drawing. This was based off a picture I saw. And, I don't know, I really liked the picture, so I decided to draw it. This is Levi from Attack on Titan. My friend really, 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 really likes Levi, and, it was her birthday, so I wanted to draw her Levi, and I did. And he's on a roof, and he's got his little cape thing, and he's like, clean for me! Here, I was experimenting with the acrylic paint, and I wanted to make this kind of optical illusion. It sort of worked out, but sort of didn't. So, from here, it looks like clouds, thunder, and then, like, the thunder, like, going everywhere. But from here, it looks like trees and bushes, and then it goes like this. And then on this page, I have Kane. Like, remember I said earlier, Kane likes defending Leaf a lot, because Leaf is kind of a dependent little boy. This is Cabbage Man, and this is a big cabbage. So you're probably wondering why I'm drawing a highly detailed cabbage, and that's because in my art class, my teacher came in the room with a basket full of cabbages. And he was like, you guys are going to draw this, and you're going to put a bunch of detail in it to get the texture. And so I drew a cabbage, and of course, I cannot forget Cabbage Man. And then for some reason on this page, there's a bunch of horses. And then this is when I chopped the cabbage, and then Cabbage Man is screaming. And then I was just really bored, and my friend was like, draw me my dog! You know when people ask you to draw things, and they think that... Yeah, and then, so I drew her dog real quick in a 2H pencil, and this is also a 2H pencil drawing, and it's a monkey throwing poop. So then after my cabbage was chopped, my teacher was like, now do something imaginative inspired by the chopped cabbage. So I drew a little mouse under this little house thing. Oh my god! I rhymed. And then there's like a leaf on the roof, and it's rainy, and it's just, it made me think of like storybooks of when you're little, and I don't know, I thought it was a cute thing to draw. And then on this page, a lot of people really like this drawing because it's a guy, and the guy has facial hair, and he's also wearing a pretty nice fall outfit. This page, I had to do another project, so whenever you see like writing and stuff, and if it's written in French, that probably means that I am working on a project. So I wanted to work on, I wanted to explore like human behavior and stuff, and you know how like in science labs, like scientists usually experiment with rats. I chose to study them, so I looked up rats and I drew them, and I wanted to draw them standing up because I wanted to make this kind of link with humanity and all that madness. And so here my dad was like, you should make them lining up for the next iPhone. So I was like, okay. So it's just an angry dude who's like waiting in line, and then this rat is really fat and he's just looking away, and this one's got Starbucks, and then this one is, well, they're angry at each other. You kind of assume that the bigger rat is buying the little rat's iPhone. This is what I ended up doing for the project. So this was about like experimentations on rats. Yeah, it's some pretty dark crap.
This sounds so interesting. I love it.
Okay, and then I was reading a book called Gone. The book is written by Michael Grant, and he's a cool writer. This book is kind of like mixed between like a Stephen King Under the Dome mixed with like sci-fi, and if you've seen The 100, that's kind of like it, and it's also kind of like Misfits. Yeah, it was a really great book.
Is there another one?
Yeah, there's I think 6 in the whole series.
Sweet.
But yeah, these are the main characters. So that's Sam, the main character, and that's his best friend Astrid. And then Astrid's little brother, who's named Little Pete. He is mute and he's adorable and really, really cool. And then Quinn is Sam's best friend, but there's some drama going on. I drew other characters. So that's Kane. And yeah, I know, he has the same name as my OC. Whatever, it happens sometimes.
Build a bridge and get over it.
Yeah, so when I was reading the book, I pictured Diana to look a lot like Azula, so she kind of looks like her. And then this is Drake, who's the dude who scares the absolute crap out of me. And this is Lana. She's my favorite character in the whole book. This is kind of a spoiler of what happens with my OCs, but yeah, that's a thing. And then this is 2 pages here with my dog Dax, who's right behind me. And then Eddie, who's my wiener dog. Oh, here comes the avatar. Okay, I got Momo and Sokka and Katara, and they're riding on Appa. And Shopakyot, and then on this page, this is actually drawn based off of an actual screenshot from the show. I just really liked the scene, so I wanted to draw it. And it's Aang, who's leaning back. And that's Appa, and it's just so cute, okay? And then here's Toph doing her epic rock bending. And then here's Zuko. I really like this one because Zuko is beautiful. So then on this page here we got Mulan and then Shang, or is it Chang? I don't remember his name. I have not watched the movie in a while. Shang?
Yeah.
Anyway, so then it's like, I'll make a man out of you. And then on this page is Spider-Man. I'm gonna cover this part because it looks so awkward. Here's more characters from the book Gone. For some reason there were a bunch of pages in between that had nothing to do with Gone. But this is more characters. So this is Edilio, and this is Decca, and Brianna, and Pack Leader. Yeah, that character doesn't really have a name. It's just a really angry coyote. This was also drawn in the car. This is Isaac and Idako, and this makes a link to this page over here. Kind of mirrors each other, which I thought was kind of neat. And then here's Leaf with a character I have not really talked about much, but this is Vinia. This looks so weird now that I look at it again. It's just a girl with a sweatsuit with headphones on, and then yeah, it looks kind of like those like inspirational 90s photos with like gradients and stuff. And then on this page, this is actually a painting I ended up making. I have no idea where the painting is, but it's based off of Tamara de Lempica, who's an artist from the 20s. And then here is when, in my senior year, I had a free period, so I was able to draw for about an hour every day. And these were the people that were with me on my free period. So that's my friend Micah. He has facial hair. And that's my friend Brienne. And that's my friend Sarah. And I really like how this one turned out because it actually looks like her. Is my friend Sabrina. That's Laurence. And that's Roxanne. And that's Isabel. And then that's my friend Bellamy. And then Jean. So, like, people basically just demanded some portraits. This is basically what it is. Here, I put post-its to cover it because I didn't want it to go through the paper. But this is a coloring of the face. I wanted to practice coloring dark skin. And then here is a random dragon. Here is a dude who looks really, really nauseous or something. He's kind of like, he looks a mix between being nauseous and tired. And then here is a girl. I was trying to practice kind of like Marvel style or superhero style sort of. And then here was around the time I got Super Smash Bros. So I drew Little Mac and Ike. So at this point I got, you know, those colored pencils. Using a colored pencil to sketch. I thought it looked cool and it made me think of being a Disney animator. So I used that. And this is, I had paused my game on Super Smash Bros. And I was like, wow, look at Sheik. She looks so intense. So I tried drawing the pose. I didn't really add detail around her face or anything. And then here is a page full of hands. The most frustrating crap to draw ever.